Hey guys, this is Clark. I just wanted to show you how to sign up for shifts if you're part-timer or full-timer wanting to do transport ambulance shifts, or just set your availability for the 2 months. What you're going to do is log into crewsense.com, put in your username and password. If you don't know your password, you can hit this forgot password area and it'll send it to your email. So I'm going to sign in. And my internet's been really slow lately, so bear with me. This is how it's going to look when you pull it up. This is not how you're going to sign up. This is just an overview screen so you can see what the daily staffing is today for Thursday, December 6th. What you're going to want to look at is the View Crew Scheduler. So off this calendar icon, the View Crew Scheduler. So over on the right-hand side is where you're going to sign up for shifts. In particular, you're probably going to do that a couple months out. So we're going to go to January 1st, and I'm going to set an availability. So as a part-timer, I'm just going to click on an open slot. I'm going to type my name. I'm going to check to make sure that it's from January 1st to January 2nd, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. If, for instance, I can only work till 6 a.m. because I have to get to a part-time job or anything like that, or my full-time job, I can select that as well. You can leave notes if you want to. They're not required, and don't worry about repeating this because you're just working the one day. Okay, and there I am on the schedule. So on the 15th or somewhere around the 15th, Angie or Carla will decide who is awarded the shift. They'll just take your name and slide it over into the correct position. If your name isn't selected, your name will remain in the sign-up sheet. You will not be on the hook, and I'll repeat that. You will not be on the hook for covering that shift should someone take off or request a vacation day or a sick day. But it's a place for the BCs to start to see if you may still be available, or if somebody needs to take some time off, they can give you a call. A part-timer, so position for position, can call you and say, oh, hey, Clark, I saw that you had availability on the 1st. Are you still available? Could we do a trade? Let's say I'm filling out my availability, and then I realize, oh, crap, I'm not available that day. What do I do? Well, it would be nice if you could just delete yourself from this assignment, but unfortunately we can't do that. Otherwise, you'd be able to delete other assignments. So just click back on your name, delete the shift from date and the shift to date, modify that, and your name should disappear from the availability. Same thing for full-timers who want to sign up for transport shifts, or part-timers that want to sign up for just the transport shift, the 10 to 10 shift. I put my name in there. And yes, it's from 10 to 10, or again, if you have different availability, you can't do more than 12 hours, and then just add yourself to the list. There I am. Oops, I forgot something came up. I hadn't been assigned yet, or it's prior to the shift pick. Deleting my shift from, deleting my shift to, modifying, and I'm removed from the schedule. So you'll want to do that for every day you're available. So we'll go to the 5th of January, and I will put my availability in just like that. Any questions about that, just give me a call. I wanted to go over a few other features for the if you're doing this on a computer. If you need to make a trade, this is here. It's here on the trade board. You just request a shift trade. And if you know exactly who you're trading with because you've worked it out beforehand, I'm going to Steve Johnson. So I just start typing the name Steve, and I've got Steve Berenson or Mike Stevens. Those are apparently people who I can trade with. Or let's see, another paramedic, Ryan Kimball. Okay, even though we're on the same platoon, it's going to allow me to do it. But then the BC can always audit or veto that, and then I would just set whatever day I want and then send that trade request out. Now that person can accept the trade, but it's ultimately up to the BCs to agree with the trade or to approve or deny the trade. And so make sure you do that with plenty of time, or give your BC a heads up. It should send it to their email or to their or text message them. But if you haven't heard from them, you can maybe send them a notification right here, just a quick little email to anybody. So all I have to say, hey, Chief Tim, hey, will you check my trade and see if it's been approved? And it'll send it. You can also send it via email or text message, but I'm just going to cancel that message. If you're within the appropriate window to request some time off, you have a date coming up, and you want to see if you have it available to you, you can just say you can see the view the time off calendar. And I'm going to take an obvious one, December 25th, 2019. I'm going to see if I have the ability to take that day off. And it looks like whoever's on that day hasn't done their shift picks yet. But let's say I wanted to take the 24th. Oh, look, it looks like I've already got 3 full-time people off. Looks like I'm not going to be able to take it. But if I wanted to, say, take the 19th, I could request a time off for the 19th. So I come back over to the time off briefcase, do a request time off. I want to take some vacation. I'm just going to go ahead and put in my whatever day that was. Random. I'm just going to take the 20th of that day, and it's going to end on the 21st. Any notes? Hey, I'd like this day off. Do not need to write that, but then you can send your time off request there. If you're a part-timer, this would also be a place to do your bid time offs. If you wanted to take a certain day off, this is how you can set up your bid time offs. Sends it automatically to the BC. You don't need to make any calls. They don't need to do anything except approve it. And that saves them a bunch of time. So I'm just going to reset this and take off that. Another interesting area that'll help you guys out is this forms section. And again, if you don't know what the little icons mean, you can blow it up with this arrow up here. So we're going to go to the forms. We're going to access the forms. And in this category, we have building maintenance requests, injury report forms, exposure reports, damaged equipment, memos, part-time employee observation forms, and training request forms. These forms will not automatically be emailed to your supervisor or the appropriate recipient. And so once you've filled out your information, and I'm sorry, Mark Arnold, you are just the default employee. So make sure you put your appropriate name, where the damage was from, or whatever it is, the form you're filling out. Describe it in detail, and then right here, just email to the following: your station captain or relief officer. So I would send my request to Trent Stanley, and now it will email my supervisor. And let's say this was a damaged equipment report form and it was a damaged SCPA. I'd also want to add Dane Stevens. If it was an exposure report form or an injury, you'd want to add your battalion chief. So mine's Tim Robinson, so I'd add him. And it's going to email all 3 of them simultaneously after I've signed my form. I'm working with Crewsense to add things like deleting signatures. So if I happen to mess up my signature, I'd be able to delete it. But for right now, you can't. So just get one shot or you have to do the form over again. And then I would submit it to those folks. Another area that we're working on is the file manager, and that's going to be over here on the left side. And this is where we're going to start storing the policies, procedures, protocols, UCOGs, and for part-timers, their time cards. So look for that in the future. We don't have that there yet, but look for that. And again, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to sit down with you on when I'm on duty, or maybe talk you through it over the phone if I've got a minute. Let me know if you have any questions. My phone number 801-380-0429. Thanks, guys.